The shore of Crissy Beach in San Francisco is postcard pretty, but these hardworking scientists at BioBlitz 2014 are more interested in what lies beneath the surface.
We are looking at samples that were taken right offshore here by a boat using a Ponar grab, and then they were washed through a screen, and then they gave us these jars full of sediment that we are now spooning into dishes and pulling out the critters and identifying them.
Susan McCormick and her colleague Dot Norris specialize in identifying benthic organisms, or creatures that live on the seafloor, like sea pens.
Fish and those guys. And this is not whole, but they live down in the mud, and they have kind of a bulbous bottom that helps anchor them.
Most people have never heard of sea pens, but they're a large and beautiful group of creatures representing over 300 species, and there are probably many more species yet to be discovered. So whose job is that? To discover, identify, and name new organisms? Taxonomists like McCormick, Norris, and Rebecca Johnson at the California Academy of Sciences.
My formal training is in taxonomy and systematics, which is basically giving animals and plants and all of life's diversity names and figuring out how those things are related to each other. So if you think of starfish, for example, that have a name, Pisaster ocraceus is like the genus name and the species name. There's Pisaster ocraceus, which is an ochre sea star, and its close relative, Pisaster brevispinus, is also a starfish, and we use that genus name and we think those must be closely related because they have the same genus name. So then when those names are used by someone else, by an ecologist, by someone who's looking for the cure for cancer, they know that that name tells them something about relationships. So if they find there's something about Pisaster ocraceus, and they think maybe its close relative has that same thing, they know that Pisaster brevispinus is actually closely related.
Most taxonomists have a specialty, and Johnson's is sea slugs, or nudibranchs.
People imagine slugs. When I tell people that I work on slugs, they think of garden slugs, they think of brown little slugs, which also I think are quite beautiful. But the sea slugs, the nudibranchs that I study, are actually quite spectacularly beautiful. They're all colors of the rainbow: pink, blue, orange, purple. They're quite small, and they're just amazing. The diversity of color and shape is just incredible.
Are there enough young taxonomists coming along specializing in these things?
No, there is not.
It's really sad.
Yeah. So we're all, we're getting to the age of retirement, and so there aren't really people to replace us.
Or maybe there are. Right here?
I like the flatworms that we found in the stream.
What were they?
Flatworms.
Flatworms? What'd you like about them?
I don't know, it was just so cool because usually worms are round and this one was like flat.
Ah, okay.
My favorite part is when we went in the marsh and we found dragonfly larvae.
I liked seeing the seal on the beach when we went looking for sand crabs. Because it was just like, oh my gosh, there's a seal right there, like maybe 40 feet away from us, just laying on the beach.
Also a snake that we found.
Some what?
A snake.
A snake? Do you know what kind?
No, my sister found it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what we were doing was there were these boards that we took a hammer and we had to open up the boards, and the first couple ones didn't really find much, just like bugs, and then I actually got scared and I put the board down so the snake escaped, but the person identified it as a gardener snake, so it was pretty cool though.
And that's a big reason we have BioBlitzes, to inspire a new generation of taxonomists and wildlife biologists eager to explore the incredible diversity of life on Earth. I'll have more from BioBlitz 2014 coming up. Till then, I'm Bob Hirschon for AAAS.